So as you may or may not know, Nintendo will be shutting the Wi-Fi down for 3DS and Wii U in April. That actually made me quite sad because it marks the end of an era, and so to sort of as a send-off, I decided to go back onto Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and onto the battle spot and see if I could get any battles for one last swan song, really. And so this is what happened. I will actually say this now. I was online for over an hour and I only got two battles in. That's how quiet it is at the moment, but I mean, that is to be expected for what is nearly a 10-year-old game. So, after the two battles that I got on the day I recorded this, I will show you some previous battles that I had on the Versus recorder, mainly just so this video isn't really short. Opponent was from Japan. They had a Landorus Therian, a Porygon 2, a Kangaskhan that was very probably that it was a Mega Kangaskhan, a Galvantula, a Rotom Wash, and a Heatran, and we have an Alakazam, a Primal Groudon, a Mega Rayquaza, a Mega Lucario, a Dialga, and a Darkrai. It did actually take me quite a long time to decide which team to pick because one thing I've really learned with Pokemon is it's not so much picking the Pokemon that have super effective moves, it's picking who's resistant to the opponent. And so there we go, we picked our team. We picked Darkrai first because I just thought, what the heck. And here we go. As you can probably actually see, my circle pad has been destroyed. It's been destroyed twice, mainly through aggressive Mario Kart playing. Anyways, here we go. Right, so we bring out Darkrai, and I have no idea what they picked. They picked Galvantula because I can't read kanji. I was tempted to swap out because obviously Bug beats Dark, but I chose not to. As you can see, I was sort of considering who to pick, but then I decided not to. So I just went with Dark Void. I was just like, what the heck. Okay, so they withdrew Galvantula. This is where they bring out Heatran, I believe. Yeah, here comes Heatran. So we just used Dark Void. This was back when Dark Void had 85% accuracy instead of 50. It was really overpowered. And there we go, we put Heatran to sleep. I don't know why they swapped out. Maybe they just wanted to sort of just steamroll us. I'm guessing they had Magma Storm or something. So we just go for Dark Pulse here. I think we were tempted by Dream Eater. Yeah, we went with Dark Pulse. I wasn't really sure what to go with because obviously Heatran's part Steel type. And I couldn't remember if Steel resisted Dark. Turns out it doesn't. They got leftovers. I couldn't remember which item we had on Darkrai. I think it was leftovers as well. I think it was something like that. So we did quite a lot of damage to Heatran, so I just went with another Dark Pulse, take it out in 2 turns. Went really well for us, to be honest. So that's one down straight away. We got a critical hit as well. Not that it really mattered, because we are going to take it out anyways. Next Pokemon, they bring back Galvantula. As you can probably tell, this is post-recording. This is not straight away as the battle's happening. So we go for another Dark Void again. They use Sticky Web. Obviously, they were planning on bringing out Spoilers Mega Kangaskhan last to sweep us. So we get another lucky Dark Void. I know it's 85% accuracy, but if Pokemon Stadium's taught me one thing is that you can't trust accuracy, but we get our second Dark Void in a row, so Galvantula's asleep. Yeah, I think we went. Yeah, they're fast asleep. I can't remember which move we picked. Oh, we picked Dream Eater. I don't know why we did. I just remembered that Bug didn't resist Psychic. So we need to take it out in one hit. They're asleep, so like I said, there's no real threat or anything at all. I don't think anyone really runs Rest and Sleep Talk, to be honest. So we take out Garbanzo as well. So we're in a really good position. We've got three Pokemon against one, but it's the hardest for last. I will say, spoilers, we did lose this first battle, but I mean, we were against Mega Kangaskhan. So we go for Dark Void third time, and unfortunately, obviously they Mega Evolve. We knew it was coming. Anyone who knows anything about Gen 6 meta knew this was going to happen. Kangaskhan actually outsped Darkrai, which really surprised me. I'm guessing it had really good IVs. There you go, Power Punch, sorry. So it takes this below half and it ups their attack. So we really needed to land this Dark Void here, and it missed. I suppose It's kind of deserved, so we couldn't really do anything, so we just went with Dark Pulse. The only thing we could have hoped for was them missing, but obviously it didn't. So we lost Darkrai, and they got a critical hit as well, and they got 2 times attack boost, which is really put us on the back foot, to be honest. We really just had to pray that we sent in Rayquaza next, because I just thought, well, I mean, if Mega Kangaskhan's overpowered, Rayquaza's even more overpowered. Well, Mega Rayquaza, I mean, they made its own tier in competitive. It got its own tier separate from Uber's, but it wasn't powerful enough to beat out um, a times 2 attack Mega Kangaskhan. I couldn't decide between Dragon Ascent and Outrage, but I just wanted to pick Outrage. I guess because I knew I would die. Um, I think here I actually looked up the power of both moves. I think that's what I actually did. Obviously, it wouldn't really matter. Kangaskhan's normal type, so it wouldn't like have been that either would have done not very effective damage. So yeah, I think this was me looking up what to do, which one was more powerful. Either that or I'm just panicking, or probably both. I'm just sat here waiting for something to happen. Okay, there we go. There we go. So we Mega Revolve, praying to God that we're faster. Rayquaza is powerful, but it's not super fast. I'm guessing this Kangaskhan had like max speed EVs or something. So they use Return. They take us out in 1 hit. So all that for nothing. So we're just left with Alakazam. And this is me foolishly thinking, I don't know. Obviously, the battle was lost here. As soon as that Dark Void missed, we lost. I mean, someone could argue, even if it had hit, they could have woken up on the next turn. No way we would have taken out in 1 attack. So Sticky Web lowered our speed. It didn't lower it because it was a flying type. I just go for Psychic. I think even then I knew I was going to lose. Obviously, I'd somehow forgotten that Kangaskhan obviously attacks twice. Its parental bond ability. That's what it does. You attack twice, but the second attack deals half damage. So use Return. Take us down to 1 because we've got a Focus Sash because Mega Alakazam really isn't that good. And then the second attack hits and we die. And yeah, we lost. It's a shame because obviously we were winning for so long, but that just goes to show how powerful Mega Kangaskhan is, really. So there we go. That was that, really. It was a good battle, but it's a shame we lost and all. Okay, here's our second battle. We're against another trainer from Saitama, I believe. They've got Volcarona, another Kangaskhan, but they didn't use it. A Gengar, a Raikou, a Porygon 2, another Porygon 2, and a Mamoswine. We stuck with the same team. I did have a backup team, but I didn't use it. Obviously, I didn't really get many opportunities. I only had 2 battles. I think that team had Ursaring. Yeah, I know. I used a Guts plus Toxical Facade set with Bulk Up. I think it was a lot easier to pick this team this time. I also had a Gardevoir, a Salamence, I think a Nidoking, and 2 other Pokemon I can't remember, to be honest. I can't remember off the top of my head. So there you go, there's my hand in the camera. There we go. Battle begins. So we started with Darkrai again, and they sent out Mamoswine. There we go. Like I said, I don't know what these Pokemon's names are, so it's just a blur to me. Um, yeah, obviously we weren't going to go into Rayquaza because that was just a death wish. So what did we do here? Okay, we picked Dark Void again. Good old Dark Void. So there we go, it hits. Really wish it would have hit in that last battle, but like I say, it wouldn't have guaranteed victory because if they'd have woke, because obviously we would have put them to sleep. They would have gone first, and they could have woken up and attacked us and taken us out. Um, so it wasn't a guaranteed victory, but it would have very likely given us the win. So they're asleep, and we just go for Dark Pulse. What do you expect? I don't really want to go with Dream Eater. I don't know why. Obviously, because I wouldn't have recovered any health. They woke up immediately. They used Earthquake. We survive, thankfully. Could have put them to sleep again, but we didn't need to because we were taking out more than half the health. They used Ice Shard. Didn't see that coming. And oh, we did survive. Sorry, thankfully. And yeah, we take them out with Dark. We didn't finish them off. I'm jumping. We went with Ominous Wind because I just knew they were going to go for Ice Shard again. So it took us out, but we did do a lot of damage. Let's say a critical hit would have helped, but you never know. It happens. So we went into Groudon because we were gonna obviously go Primal Groudon, and that way obviously we become part Fire type to mitigate the weakness to Ice, but we'd still be weak to Ground because I'm pretty sure Ground does not resist itself. Obviously, Fire is weak to Ground. I can't think what we were going to go with. I think we are just going to go with Dragon Claw or something. Obviously, we weren't, I do have Fissure, but I wasn't going to use it. I see they went with Earthquake, which dealt a lot of damage to us, but it didn't matter. Dragon Claw took him out, and that was the end of Mamoswine. That was all Mamoswine wrote. Next Pokemon was Gengar. Waiting for them to pick. Like I say, didn't know at the time, but obviously it was Gengar, as I'm telling you now from the future. Obviously, this was back when Gengar had Levitate and not Cursed Body, so obviously we couldn't pick Earthquake or Fissure. We just went with Dragon Claw because obviously we couldn't use Eruption because that moves powers based on HP, and obviously they went with Mega Gengar. We could have actually gone with Earthquake. I don't know why I thought they weren't going to Mega Evolve. I don't know. Possibly if they'd had Kangaskhan, then they wouldn't have Mega Evolved. Obviously, it doesn't matter. They go Shadow Ball and they take us down. So that just leaves us to Rayquaza. That leaves Rayquaza's got it all to do. It's 1 against 2. But as you probably guessed, we did win this battle. So this makes up for the disappointing result from last battle where it just went down to Kangaskhan. So once again, couldn't decide Dragon Ascent or Outrage. It was whether I wanted the defense lowering of Dragon Ascent. There we go. I'm using my hand rather than the size. So we went Outrage instead, just because I didn't want to lower my defense, particularly when it's my last Pokemon. Because obviously I did want to win. I didn't think I was going to win because obviously we were at such a disadvantage. I suppose I underestimate myself a bit. They went Sludge Bomb. Could have poisoned us, but we managed to live with more than half health. We went with Outrage, and yep, took him out in one hit and a critical hit. So there we go. There's that critical hit when I needed it. And obviously, no, I was running leftovers on Rayquaza. I don't know what item I was running on Darkrai. It might have been, I don't know, Expert Belt maybe? I think that's what it might have been. So they say Raikou is our last Pokemon. I didn't really know Raikou was very sort of. I didn't think Raikou was prominent in Gen 6 competitive. Once again, Raikou goes first. Obviously, sets up Reflect. Obviously, we're locked into Outrage, and this is where the battle could have been different. Obviously, because Outrage confuses. There you go. So we could have accidentally dealt a lot of damage to ourselves. Raikou also has leftovers, as do we. Which is the really broken part about Mega Rayquaza is obviously you don't have to run a Mega Stone to use it. There you go, the camera just went to the left for no apparent reason. And we just went with Outrage again, I think. Yeah. Didn't bother with Dragon Pulse or Ice Beam. They went with Hidden Power. It was a super effective form. I'm guessing it was Hidden Power Rock. It was either Hidden Power Rock or Hidden Power Ice. I'm guessing. And then Outrage, another critical hit, takes down Raikou, even with Reflect. So there we go. Lost the first battle, but we won the second one. So yeah. I did think we were going to lose, but Rayquaza just pulled through in the end, especially when we needed it most. And there we go. I did actually save that battle. I save all my victories for a later date, and as I'll show you soon, I'll show you some previous wins, mainly just wins that were really cool. Well, you'll particularly enjoy one where we used Horn Drill with Nidoking, and I'll actually make sure that's the first one you see. Okay, so a little bit of a jump in here. They swap out their Heracross. Obviously, we stuck Nidoking. They're going for Cresselia because obviously Psychic. We just went for Horn Drill just because I didn't know what to do, so I just like, screw it. And what do you know? It hits. That is luck right there. So we get off to a lucky start there. Once again, obviously from Japan, so I don't know what they're sending in because I can't read kanji. Goes for Psycho Cut. We just barely survive that. Go for a quad effective Mega Horn. And obviously take down Malamar. So yeah, Nidoking is just so versatile. Surprisingly good in these online battles. Cover a little bit of health, doesn't really matter. Send in Heracross again. Obviously it's a Mega Heracross. This was just back in the days where you just knew whatever their last Pokemon was, or you just knew it was a Mega Pokemon. You just saw it in their team lineup and you're like, yeah, that's a Mega. Go for Rock Blast, which I wasn't expecting. Didn't know Heracross could learn that. 1 HP. Nah. Sadly, it wasn't to be. I don't even think an Ice Beam would have fully taken down Heracross, I don't think. To be honest. I sent in Darkrai for whatever reason, don't know why. I guess because I was just thinking, oh, it's got Dream Eater, and obviously that will be super effective. So this could have gone badly wrong if you think about it. But we get the lucky Dark Void off. Heracross is asleep. See, Bad Dreams kicks in, saps a bit of health. Obviously we go for Dream Eater. What did you expect? It doesn't quite get the KO, unfortunately. So like I say, there were a couple of times where we could have lost this battle, potentially. Because I imagine Heracross knew Mega Horn or Close Combat or something. And yeah, they quit. Like I said, that was a pretty fun battle, purely just because we got so lucky in the end, but still really fun. Okay, so this was the first battle here, and we are sending out our Nidoking, and this guy sends out Aggron, so we're off to a pretty good start so far. We go for Earthquake, and as you can see, it had Sturdy. They go for Iron Head, which is still a pretty good amount of damage. Take us just down to, or just above half health. They swap out Aggron, and I don't know whether I was predicting a switch or not, but we just conveniently end up going for Ice Beam, which puts Sceptile below half health. Naturally, we swap out. I don't know why I picked Gyarados here. I really don't. I guess I was thinking it's flying type, so it's not weak to that. We dodge a Dual Chop. Swap out Sceptile. We go into Manectric. Or he, I suppose I should say. It was a guy I was battling. We naturally go straight in for Mega Evolution because don't really like that quad weakness, obviously. I can't think what move we went with here. A Waterfall. Does this KO? Ooh, just survive. They go for a Wild Charge. Luckily we survive. But they get damaged by Recoil. I don't know whether he was expecting a KO or not. I don't know. Obviously, we go for Earthquake. It fails. He sends in Sceptile again. See, now he Mega Evolves to Mega Sceptile. What move? Leaf Blade. Actually, because we're not flying type anymore, we are super effective. We are weak to that move, so obviously we go down. I then send in my Alakazam because I don't want to send in Nidoking. He rightfully goes for X-Scissor, but what he didn't see coming was Focus Sash. And honestly, I still remember this guy's reaction to that. He was so surprised. We then go in for a Psychic and take down Mega Sceptile, just like that. And of course, all he's got left is an Aggron with 1 HP. It's quite funny. I don't think Aggron has any priority moves, so he very much was screwed. Finish off with a Psychic, doesn't matter that it wasn't very effective, and yeah, we won that battle pretty concisely without even the Pokemon. Pretty easy, to be honest. So this really marks the end, really, of the Nintendo 3DS, now that that's all over. It's quite a shame, really. At the time of this coming up, there's just about a month left until all Wi-Fi for 3DS and Wii U is switched off, and it really does just mark the end of an era for those systems. It's a real shame because there are so many great titles on those systems, you know, things like Super Mario 3D Land, Fire Emblem Awakening, Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, as we've just seen. I mean, but even on the Wii U, you know, like Smash, Splatoon, Super Mario 3D World. All those great titles that are just, just sort of going to the video game afterlife, as I suppose you could say. It is a shame, really, but this is just the way things are, unfortunately. The one sort of crumb of comfort is I did actually recently discover someone has actually set up like a server for Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 that means the GTS for that is now working again. I'll leave a link to the video in the description, but I mean, if they can set something up for Black 2 and White 2, I'm sure they'll probably set up something like that for all the Gen 6 and Gen 7 games. So it is possible that in the near future we could potentially see a revival of the GTS, though obviously on a much smaller scale and hopefully without all those ridiculous hacked Pokemon advertising people's Instagrams and Discord servers. So there is actually hope that there might still be an online presence in the future, and we just might have to wait a bit. But until then, it is the end. So yeah, I guess that's that really, and we just gotta hope for the best for the future, really. So yeah, shame. I would just like to say thank you to everyone who made it to the end of the video. Obviously, I know I haven't uploaded anything in a really long time, and there are multiple reasons for that. But I would just like to say I will be uploading content again, just very rarely, mainly sort of essay type content, as there's a lot of stuff I really want to talk about. As whilst I do write blogs and things, there's just a lot of stuff that would just work better as a video. So occasionally expect to see a video once or twice in the next sort of few months. Like I say, nothing regular, just every once in a while there'll be a video. So please stay tuned, but don't check super regularly. Like there won't be a video every week, maybe not even every month. So just bear that in mind. But I say thank you for watching, and stay tuned.